Friday the 13th Part 3 3D review by Hughes. Friday the 13th Part 3 3D review. The 1980s was a glorious time for the horror genre. With the rise of the mighty VHS, it was so very easy to get your horrific content out into the world, so much so that we were gifted the video nasty of cinema. At the same time, 3D was taking cinemas by storm. It would go on to be a flash-in-the-pan craze that would die until James Cameron's Avatar. It comes as no surprise then that many films sought to combine horror and 3D. One such film is Friday the 13th Part 3. The third film obviously in the franchise gave the new technology a whirl, and all these years later it is looked back on with fondness by many. Near impossible to track down for the average viewer, we managed to catch a special one-off screening of the movie at Nottingham's Mayhem Film Festival. Now in its 13th year, and falling over in October. Friday the 13th, the organizers Stephen Chile and Chris Cook couldn't not show a Friday the 13th film and thought that the 3D version would make things extra special for attendees. It was certainly a memorable experience. It's easy to see why older audiences were so impressed with the likes of Avatar when this is the type of 3D that they had to reference against. As we entered the screen, we were given the old-school red and green cardboard glasses, which meant that the whole film was a strange red and green jumble. It was a little jarring, but let's be honest, you don't watch a Friday the 13th film for the cinematography. The 3D is glorious in its silliness. The choices of what to make 3D seemed to have been born out of a brainstorm at a hardware store. Most of the 3D elements appear to revolve around the handles of brooms, pitchforks and clothes props being jabbed in your face. We also get a few arms grabbing out at the screen, rats running towards you, popcorn popping up into your face, and one instance of a yo-yo dangling up and down in front of your face. There's also a great moment where an eyeball fires out of the skull of one of Jason's victims right at you. It's certainly entertaining as a vintage throwback now, but it is terribly gimmicky. Plot-wise, it's pretty much the same stock and slash that the franchise is famous for. It was, however, the first film that had Jason stalking prey other than Camp Crystal Lake counselors. He has to go on the run at the start of the film, but don't worry, he still ends up murdering folks in a cabin in the woods. Also, trivia fans, it is this film that Jason gets his beloved hockey mask, stealing it off of victim Shelley. There's also a nice callback to the death of Kevin Bacon's camper. This time around it's a female victim laying in a hammock. Outside of both of these moments, it's business as usual, and 3D aside, is sadly one of the weaker Friday 13th films. Still, it was one heck of a way to spend a Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th Part 3 3D review by Hughes, October 2017. Friday the 13th Part 3 3D screened as part of Mayhem Film Festival's 2017 program. Friday the 13th Part 3 3D tags Friday the 13th Part 3 3D Mayhem 2017. Steve Miner.